It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Well, it's really the moment you didn't know you were waiting for. It's Larry, it's Jim, it's black, it's gold. It's prediction time. It's next. Welcome to the Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm Jim Derry. On this short week, it's just one more day until the Saints get to go out there and make everyone forget what happened at Philadelphia. Either that or they get to chase around Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman for 3 hours on national television. I'm not sure which. But here to help us make sense of it all is the guy who did not bring me back a Philly steak and cheese sandwich. That's Saints beat writer Larry Holder.
I did not. It would get soggy in my laptop case because I would get it with the Cheese Whiz, not the provolone.
It's food.
Doesn't matter. It could still go a little bit McNasty once it gets back here.
They don't make styrofoam in Philadelphia?
Look, just be happy we got out of there safe and sound, considering the Saints basically did not, came back 1-4, and now they're on the depths of 1-5.
Defense looked like they had a little too many Philly cheese steaks.
Well, maybe a little bit, but you certainly have to put some of the onus on the offense. Look, 4 turnovers in the first half, it wasn't as much of a problem. Second half, the takeaways come rather quickly. And remember, in the first half, they did intercept 2 passes as well. But you still give up 500 yards of offense. You still give up nearly 200 yards of rushing. You give up 39 points. And, oh, by the way, the Eagles were ranked 30th going into that game. Not anymore.
I think somebody said that running back was going to have a lot of yards. I don't remember who.
Where are you looking? I'm curious.
I'm just like looking to see if somebody's going to tell me who it was.
I don't see the person in this room.
Okay,
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Let's talk about a few things first. I asked this of Dunk yesterday or Tuesday. One thing that is positive about Drew Brees, it seemed to me that his arm was stronger and he was able to throw the ball a little bit further. He threw a couple downfield passes, so that's at least encouraging.
That's probably about the one encouraging thing that you could point out. But you look at what he had to deal with offensive line-wise. Look, you probably have about 2 starting caliber offensive linemen that were in front of him during that game. It looks like Jari Evans is going to be back. Yeah. I don't think Teron Armstead's going to be back. Tim Alito could easily be out as well, so you're going to still have 2 backups. You're probably still going to have Andres Pete. And yet, the only weapons he's really connecting with is Brandon Cooks and Willie Snead. And Willie Snead more than Cooks, because I could tell you, the Eagles really took away Cooks a lot in that game. He could not get open, and that led to a couple of those sacks because he was being forced to hold on to the football too long, waiting for plays to develop, and they just didn't.
You know, and Brees doesn't often try to force things in, but it actually looked like a couple times I've got to get it to Cooks. He actually looked like he tried to force a couple things.
Well, that's because they were step for step and figured, I got to get my guy involved. Yeah. And you figure Byron Maxwell has not played well this year. Nolan Carroll has not played well this year. Those are the Eagles' cornerbacks. And they were step for step on numerous routes with Cooks. And look, teams have habitually taken away Cooks. And I'm sure Desmond Trufant, Thursday night, he will be on Brandon Cooks. I don't think there's any question about it.
Speaking of Thursday night, it's a quick turnaround. Is it a good thing or a bad thing, or we don't know, that the Saints, they get whooped up, but they're able to come right back and, you know, they don't have time to think about anything. They just got to go out there and play against their, biggest rival.
If this were a more veteran, more established team, I'd probably say it was a good thing. But for this team, look, they're still trying to figure it out. And I felt like they took a bunch of steps forward in these first few weeks, weren't winning games, and then they ended up winning. And then I felt like they took a bunch of steps back by really just playing poorly in all phases of the game against Philadelphia. So I don't think this is a good thing. And look, Atlanta they're finding ways to win. They're 5-0, and yet 4 of their wins, they've trailed in the fourth quarter. And that's the first time in NFL history that a 5-0 team has started that way and yet trailed and nearly dropped for the game. So things are going right for Atlanta, and I think things have gone right for Atlanta when they played the Saints the last few times they faced them.
Atlanta playing with a lot of emotion on the opposite end, and I've got comments from readers, I've got emails. The Saints don't seem to be playing with hardly any emotion, and it's very strange for a Sean Payton team they seem listless, and not just the players, the coaches. I mean, it seems like they're just there.
It's weird because you listen to Sean Payton after a post-game press conference when they lose, and it's almost like you're a little resigned to the fact that this season is not going to go your way. It's not like you have a bunch of guys who are established. You're relying on younger guys. You're relying on guys who have injury issues. You're relying on older guys. And I think even Drew Brees, it's funny how he says, and it's probably the first time I've ever heard this say, he's a little bit angry. How about you be a lot angry? I wonder, and I wonder what's being said in the locker room. I think that's a big thing. Are people buying into what some of these veterans are saying just because maybe even the veterans themselves might not believe it anymore?
On the Atlanta side of the ledger, Dan Quinn obviously made a huge difference with this team. We talked about it before we went on the air, but this team is not that much different than the one that Mike Smith had. And they're 5-0 and playing with just a ton of confidence. Matt Ryan looks like a different quarterback. The defense is just attacking. I mean, one guy make that much of a difference?
Well, when you got a new voice and you got a new staff, I think it does. And we've seen even, say, a Greg Williams, and I know that could be taboo in here, but he turned a bunch of average defensive guys into one of the best defenses in the league, creating turnovers and helping win a Super Bowl. So a new voice coming from a new program, I think people buy into that. And look, Dan Quinn, those guys on defense, look, they were 31st or 32nd in the NFL. They were bottom of the barrel with the Saints last year, and yet he's a guy who knows defense, comes from Seattle, and has used the same bunch of pretty much poor defenders and have turned them into a good unit, and that's one of the key reasons why they're 5-0.
Got one more question, but we're going to go to the break first. We'll come back and we'll get one more question in, and it's prediction time right after this.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
Well, it's normally the Friday extra point, but it's the Thursday morning special, the extra point. Real quick before we get to the predictions.
Let's hope it's real special.
Real quickly, defense, what does the defense have to do to stop guys like Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, just a whole cast of characters this team has. Matt Ryan playing with a lot of confidence, as we said.
Look, I think they need to get pressure. We haven't seen it at all. And it's amazing that I'm going to say it would rely on Bobby Richardson playing or not, but he's been hurt. I wouldn't think he would be playing tonight. And they really have no one along that defensive line that can do anything to A, help stop the run, and B, get a pass rush outside of Cam Jordan. Guy can't do it alone, and you saw what happened in Philadelphia. So that's, I don't know, but somehow they got to concoct some sort of pressure.
You shocked me last week with your prediction that proved to be incorrect, but you're going to shock me again?
No, because I don't think I'm going to pick them again the rest of the season. I'm going to roll the dice, play the law of averages, and figure the Saints are going to go under 500. So I'm going to keep picking against the Saints the rest of the year. I'm going Falcons 30, Saints 21. Every time you think there's going to have a shootout, they don't. I just cannot see. And the last time they've scored, more than 22 points? It took overtime, and they've not gotten out of the teens. They'll hit 21, but it's going to be 30-21.
Are they going 1-15?
Well, I won't go 1-15.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about them. I can't say I'm going to be correct every week, even though I probably should be, right?
My turn to shock people.
Oh, get out of here.
I've changed my mind since Monday. In my NFL picks column, I wrote that I thought they would lose
No, you can't do that, because I would have loved to have changed my pick last week. Andres Pete wasn't starting. Can I go back and I guess digitally I can go back in our system and change the numbers?
What are you talking about? We're predicting at the same time.
But no, man.
I'm not going to change it in the system. I don't leave it as it is.
No, you got to go with that same pick. You already put it in print. Here we go.
Look,
the integrity of this show is just all gone.
Well, my gut, which was right about the Chicago Cubs, is
for the first time in 108 years, they've actually done
I've only been around for 47.
Hey.
Saints 24, Falcons 22. Drew Brees leads a game-winning drive in the final minute and a half. And
is it a pick six for the other team? Is that the game-winning drive? No.
We're going to wrap it up, folks. I'm getting told we got to go. I know you don't want us to go. Don't forget to vote in the poll. You got to tell us who you think's going to win. We'll let you know tomorrow. So enjoy the game.